All right. Starting really late in the day after I got home. It's weird to watch this show at night and not in the morning. Welcome back. My name's Nox, and we're going to be watching the penultimate episode of Murderbot today. So, I was a little delayed in this because I was out visiting family over the weekend. But I'm excited to get to the penultimate episode because it has that episode title. Last episode we had the reveal of Murderbot's name, and Murderbot came up with a great idea. I did want to point out, it was a comment that someone left on the last episode, but I've seen it discussed other places, the differences in characterization between the book and the show. And something I've been doing for a few years is writing a adaptation, essentially fan fiction of a story set in a completely different world and tone. And something a lot of people have said is they like how I work to change the context of the story because I have a big interest in adaptation. And it's something this show has done as well. Murderbot is a lot more vulnerable, a lot less hard around the edges in the show, and it makes sense because in the books, the first thing we learned is that it's been 35,000 hours since it disabled its governor module, which is about 4 years. Meanwhile, in the show, we don't get a hard number, but we see that it has watched, what's the number? It's 7,500 something hours of content, which could be fast forwarded through since it can process faster. And that's not even a year. In the books, you really get a sense that Murderbot is stuck in a rut and it is set in its ways and it is super reluctant to change. Because in the show, it hasn't quite hardened and calcified into that state yet, which is a good way to change the context of everything. That's sort of why you make a good tone shift in an adaptation, is you change one or two details that then cascade out for the intended change. So with that little bit addressed, let's go ahead and watch episode 9 of Murderbot, All Systems Red.
SecUnits run probabilities for successful outcomes.
Risk assessment, threat assessment.
Constantly. That's a common misconception.
In your opinion, then, how are we looking?
I like it just
Any
lying.
variable.
I like that she just knows it's lying.
Murderbot.
No, it's private, Garothin. Right. Similar to the book, they are not going to let us in on the plan until the plan is happening. I really love the amount of shade he's throwing at it.
I notice you have an issue with eye contact.
This plan is insane.
What is your plan, Dr. Garathan?
You can't avoid the surveillance device.
Better plan.
That's
Oh.
inspiring. Don't worry about it. If anyone tells you that, start worrying.
I hope World Hoppers looks like this. That'd be cute. I'm thinking about producing a video after the series is done, talking about general impressions and ideas for if season 2 happens. I still haven't seen any news about it, but I assume once episode 10 rolls, that's when that may start happening.
See Sanctuary Moon, episode 599. Kogi saves the day. First, I don't recommend that course of action.
Okay, more dialogue directly out of the book.
I don't recommend that course of action. That's pretty cool.
Rotty.
Didn't realize they were too absorbed in their own self-righteousness to see clearly. Even after I was
She's a little offended.
member of their was Garathan.
That's not... Oh, that's the head of the other sec unit.
Okay, they beat the crap out of me and I got lucky.
Yeah.
What's the
I'll do it. We'll all do it. Oh, neat. We get to actually see their hub system. They've got rovers. Boy, that sure does look like just a rock quarry. Hey, we finally get some more drones. It's got the company logo, and I assume that sort of 4-part one is preservation. Considerably closer than preservation Oxus.
The command package
So how's this gonna go wrong?
Hub system. That's not possible.
One of them is a highly advanced augmented human.
There you go.
Exaggerating.
You can make it launch. His name is...
Uh-oh.
I was about to say Grathan, but then I realized I'd already used that name.
Shagamin.
Immolated when the beacon launches.
But that's
Murder.
We're gonna deal with this.
No, that.
We have to do this.
This is not really a conundrum they deal with in the books. The switching of the armor is not gonna happen in this. That's too complicated. Technically, their sec units would be able to scan and know that that was a sec unit head.
Now, copy. And I want you all to know, I copy.
Except it was in my cargo container. Plus, it was filled with...
Sorry.
Sorry? What the hell was wrong with me?
A lot of things.
Empathy virus by my clients.
A lot of things are wrong with you. But that's why we love you. Oh! That's not good. They've definitely switched this up from the book. But this makes for a better TV show.
Hello? Do you have a plug in the back of your head?
You need to both go.
Murderbot.
Alright, she's gonna drive over to the beacon. Okay. Okay. Oh
Where
no.
are you from?
Where are we from?
They were spellbound.
Yes.
It's none of your fucking.
One more thing,
No. No.
real quick. So we agree then. Class pants?
No, you're a killing machine.
Is all!
It's fucking...
What happened?
People.
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Get it.
So, theoretically, they should have a sex system monitoring this, but if they're not paying attention to it, as clients won't do, then it's not worth much. Gonna get a gun in your back.
Hey! Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
Is he okay?
No, he's not.
They can be valuable enough to make it worth killing people.
If you can, you know, be sneaky about it, which Grey Chris can't.
Oh, I think we're just gonna torture it out of you.
Uh-oh! Is it time to start kicking ass?
Let me do it. And you should not bear witness to this. Because I live for gleeful torture. I was born!
Oh no, this guy's watched Sanctuary Moon! Yes!
I thought I recognized that this sec unit keeps quoting things from Sanctuary Moon.
Crappy show?
Crappy. How about you try to make 2,797 episodes?
Oh my good lord.
Oh
Uh-oh.
well, if those were my last words, I stand by them.
Oh shit.
Oh, fucking humans.
Well, that's not a living client anymore. Just simply shoot the hostage.
It didn't want freedom. Well, how about a little
Entertainment. Brain blast!
stay calm?
It'll be okay. What the fuck? Just beaming all of Sanctuary Moon into an enemy sec unit to fucking destroy it.
It was ironic to spend my last moments hugging a human, when all I'd really wanted to do was to be left alone to watch my shows. Well, whatever.
Yep.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
Cracked her face open, but that's not too bad. My clients were safe and I could let go.
My clients
Are the best clients.
Performance reliability at 0%. Shutdown initiated. So that's the penultimate episode. That's a pretty good place to leave it off. That is right before the epilogue back at Port Free Commerce, where I have to imagine that the epilogue could easily fill an episode depending on how you twist it. And I'm excited to see if anything from Artificial Condition, if we get the barest hint of art. But as for how this episode worked, there's a lot of sort of twisting around the plan. There's a lot of like cliches and like expectations that goes into when you explain a plan and then it goes into action, and when the plan isn't explained and it's played out bit by bit. And they've twisted it around to put the Preservation Oct crew more on edge. There's a lot in there that is like that would be very silly in a book, but I was thinking about this while I was driving, because I put the audiobook back on so I could review this. It does sort of necessitate that you expand the books because you're so in Murderbot's head, so you just need more stuff happening outside in like to other characters. I love the bit, I thought about it earlier but I didn't say anything, that the assistant, the Grey Chris assistant, has definitely seen Sanctuary Moon. Is like, that name sounds familiar, and then it like every little line that Murderbot drops, he starts like recognizing more. I said it at the same time as the show. It's like, wait a minute, I know this. It will be interesting to see if there's future adaptations, because we've talked about it before that the drones aren't really present because they're very literary. Just having infinite camera angles that you're impossible to see. And works for a book and not for a movie, so we just have like a single football-sized drone occasionally, as opposed to like the tiny housefly grain of rice style drones. Even with this level of technology, that would be a little hard to sell visually. I like the amount of personality and goofiness that they've injected. There's a lot in the books about how Murderbot will use combat tactics it sees in serials to fight and do like acrobatic things that aren't to be expected in combat scenarios. But I also like it just like completely perplexing people by having even the barest amount of conversational skills. The scene where it's stalling is so great. It was like, it's a fine line to walk between like cringe comedy. Like, I don't dislike all cringe comedy because sometimes it has a point. If it's just like, look at this loser, look how terrible they are, that's bad. But I do like it when it's done with a point, and that was done with a point. So I think that's all I have to say for this episode. I'm looking forward to the conclusion of the series and anything else that might happen. News of more seasons, or when we get a new book. So in the meantime, I'll catch y'all later.